Figure subscription service number 8 from the G.I. Joe Collectors Club has arrived. Today we are looking at Lieutenant Claymore. So here we have Lieutenant Claymore on the card. Here's the figure in the bubble, and here's the art. And it's a pretty cool looking art. You know, this guy looks like he's in command. He is pointing the way. He's like, "Go this way, my shock troopers." Anyway, so Lieutenant Claymore is not the Claymore from the 80s Mission Brazil set. This is an entirely different character. I've got to point out that if you can see from here, Claymore is 2 words, not one. Claymore from the G.I. Joe team is a single word. So he is a Cobra Shock Troops commander. So he commands those shock troopers. Now, one of the interesting things is, some of you may say, who is this guy? I've never heard of this guy. Did the figure subscription, or did the G.I. Joe Club give us a new character? Well, no, not really. They released a Lieutenant Claymore at the 2007 convention as part of the set. However, that was not a new character then either. It was the first time that that character ever saw a figure release. So what happened, back in the 80s with the G.I. Joe Sunbow cartoon, there was a Lieutenant Claymore in the cartoon. The episode The Traitor, or let me rephrase it, part 2 of the 2-part episodes of The Traitor, this character was in it. This character helps the Crimson Twins discover that Dusty is actually a traitor to Cobra when G.I. Joe thinks that Dusty is a traitor to G.I. Joe. It's fun. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Cobra Commander later in the episode tells him that it is nice to know who his friends are in life. So because Lieutenant Claymore helps figure out that whole Dusty situation, Cobra Commander is very happy and grateful. So had it not been for the club in 2007 to release this character in, I believe in 2007, we were still in the O-rings. Had the club not gone back into the history of G.I. Joe, we probably never would have had this character in figure form. It's kind of cool to have some of those rare, obscure characters in figure form. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of characters we never got in figure form. The club has helped a little bit with that. So anyway, let's bring us up to 2019, or actually when this figure came out, it's 2018, last fall. But let's catch up to 2018, where we have figure subscription service number 8, and we have Lieutenant Claymore version 2. So as I pointed out, here's the figure, there's his art. We're going to flip this thing around. On the back, we always get this nice, larger piece of the art, not the full art, but anyway. On the side here, it says G.I. Joe Club exclusive figure subscription service number 8. I added those 3 words in. And this is release number 6. So we've kind of jumped back in time because I didn't finish the reviews back when I should have. Right here we have the heart and soul, in my opinion, of what G.I. Joe is. And that is the file card. So I'm going to read that to you real quick here. Well, real quick is relative. So Cobra Shock Troops Commander, code name Lieutenant Claymore. His file name is Clayton W. Moore, and his primary military specialty is heavy weapons. His secondary military specialty is anti-armor specialist. You know, we have a lot of anti-armor specialists in G.I. Joe and Cobra. His birthplace was Detroit, Michigan, and he has a grade of O2, or equivalent. I'm not sure if the Cobra ranks are identical to the military G.I. Joe ranks or not. Anyway, growing up on the mean streets of Detroit, Lieutenant Claymore was the toughest member of his street gang and ruthlessly defended his territory. After surviving years of urban battles, one fateful hospital recovery changed his mind about his stagnant situation. Misinterpreting the advice of his doctor, he decided there was not enough profit in these local turf wars and opted to join the Cobra organization. Oh yeah, that was a great idea. So anyway, his tenacity and his natural leadership skills allowed him to become a garrison officer at Cobra headquarters. It was not until Lieutenant Claymore ferreted out a traitor in the ranks that he proved himself an invaluable asset to Cobra Commander. There we go. There's the reference to the cartoon episode. Lieutenant Claymore has that unique combination of brute strength and intelligence. He's a smart one. He personally carries an impressive arsenal of anti-armor weapons. Using his expert knowledge of tactical vulnerabilities, he easily destroys G.I. Joe's armored vehicles or breaks through any obstacles they put into his path. There's a quote here by Lieutenant Claymore. "My shock troopers are always ready for global carnage." Kind of give that, he's a sinister, intelligent, sinister guy. Hey, oh, yeah, and we're done. Alrighty, so that is the file card. That is cool. I like some of the references in there. Too bad they didn't reference actual G.I. Joe vehicle. Not a problem, though. So anyway, we are going to open this guy up. Let's cut his bubble open and see what he's all about here. All right, here he is, and he has been cut open. So we are going to open him up here. We got kind of spoiled there with Blizzard, Bushido. Oh, you know what? Here, let's look at that. Actually, we could look at the whole thing to begin with. Let's not look at that. Got kind of spoiled with Blizzard, Bushido, and Bonsai because their figure stand was taped in here. This one isn't. I forgot about the good old days. We'll call it that. So we got a figure stand right there that I can't hold. Do it two hands. Figure stand. Cobra figure stand. We will pull out that because I'm not huge. I don't cut the tape. So here we have a rifle. Pop the figure out. Here we have... Ooh, look at that. Anyway. A two-part blue and black bazooka. When you hook together, looks like that. That's a cool thing. Get rid of this. We also have a blue backpack with shells. I think we call them shells. Which, let's see right here. We got to try it out here real quick. Boom. There we go. Goes in there quite nicely. And that's how you fire them. This is how you fire them. Let me do a quick tutorial. You slide the shell in there. I think it's shell. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not researching this one. And then this is how you fire it. Boom. Kaboom. Kaboom. Just like so. So we got 4 black bazooka shells. I'm not going to call them missiles. I'm not going to call them bombs because I know those are not correct. Anyway. Oops, sorry, I bumped the device. We have Lieutenant Claymore in his dazzling blue. He has a removable helmet. And I'm going to stretch his arms out. He comes with a silver and blue knife in this sheath. On his left leg, he has a blue handgun in the holster on his right leg. And that doesn't want to go back in. We'll leave these out for right now. And he's got this web gear harness thing, which I'm going to take a quick peek. I don't think comes off. At least not. There's no way of actually just taking it off. I think you, let's see. I think in this case, you would have to take apart the figure to get this off. Not quite sure. Maybe slide this off his arms, like so. But if something's not easy to take off, I'm not going to take it off. So he got this harness here. And then I'm going to bump up my light settings just a little bit, because he looks kind of dark here. So anyway, there's Lieutenant Claymore. And so what makes up this guy? Well, the head comes from the 2016 version 1 Tombstone figure. That's where his head comes from. The torso, right here, comes from the 2012 Conrad Duke Hauser version 47. Remember, I'm using Yo-Jo numbering for all this, just so it's easy reference to look it up. The upper arms, from the elbow up, come from the 2010 version 22 Firefly. The lower arms, elbow to the hands, come from, well, okay, these ones I had some difficulty researching and finding. So the oldest that I could find was from the Matt Trakker exclusive, I believe it was the SDCC San Diego Comic-Con. You can correct me on that one, but I believe Matt Trakker came out with that set. They had like a Visionaries figure, a Renegade's Roadblock, a Transformer. But I couldn't find these arms before 2017. I can't imagine. Actually, here's a little point of reference for anyone who's curious. Every part of this figure, minus the head, was actually used for that Matt Trakker figure. So they just took this whole figure, plopped a new head on it, and there you go. So if these lower arms were used anywhere else, please let me know, because I spent hours trying to figure out whose lower arms these were. Couldn't figure it out. Anyway, we have got the upper, actually all the legs, the upper, the lower, and the feet were all used by the 2009 version 11 Alley Viper. So, yep, these all came together. This is all set. So that is what makes up this figure right here. They painted it all blue and black, a little bit of gray, a little red, red something there. His articulation, I'm gonna scoot that back a little bit. His articulation is pretty standard for all these figures. He can lean about like that far. He can sit up in a vehicle, pretty standard. He's got elbows that, not elbows, shoulders that go up about that high. He's a little off-center. This one doesn't quite go as high as the other one. So he has a little bit limited because of these shoulder pads. If we flip the arms around, then he can jump for joy and act like a cheerleader. He's so excited. But he's got full roundabout shoulder movement. He's got a full roundabout elbow movement, and his elbows bend quite a bit, both directions actually. He can make a great dead pose. Then his wrists rotate all the way around. They both do. His hands, I'll just kind of do this so you can see what the hands look like. His finger shapes are kind of like so. But there is no rocker motion on the wrists. Then his torso, with this web gear on, he can actually rotate all the way around. And he can rock back and forth a little bit. Oh, I didn't mention the head. The head does the whole rotate all the way around, and it nods back and forth about this far. Can you really see what I'm doing with my hands and fingers in the way? I mean, really, hands are like bigger than this guy. And he can do the splits about like so. He's got these pants on that are really tight, so they don't go very far. And he's got absolutely no thigh rotation. He's got no knee rotation. He does have the double joints in the knees, like so. So he can do some, flipping out, la-di-da, jumping. He has rotatable ankles. But, oh, yep, he does. They do. Let's see. How far on point can he go? So he's like the Cobra Shock Trooper ballerina right there. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And his feet will bend up this far. So he can do some really cool walking in the wind poses. Other than that, if we were to rotate his feet around, then he can do a reverse point, and it's a reverse, just slightly walking backwards uphill. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, but you could. There really is no other rotation, movement, articulation on this guy. He's just a pretty standard trooper. He's got a cool file card, but he's pretty generic in his blue and black colors. He almost would, if you didn't know what you were looking at, you might think this was like a Cobra Trooper leader. If you found this guy in Goodwill or something. Yeah. So, let's just pop some stuff on here real quick. And we'll show him off, and then we're pretty well done. Actually, let's have him hold the gun. Like so. We're not going to have him hold the gun. We're going to put him on his figure stand like so. Actually, you know what would be cool? Let's not do the gun. Let's do the bazooka. And I don't really know how bazookas are held. So, but there we go. Let's do it that way. We'll slide his knife back in, maybe. Actually, I might not be able to the way I've got him positioned. We're not going to, there we go. We're going to do this. Alright, so we are done talking about this guy. I can't think of anything else more to talk about. So we're done. It's time to rotate him in a circular motion for your enjoyment. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to drop me a line, please do so in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to be notified of future videos, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon next to it. I will see you next time.